Deadliest polar bear hunts recorded on unstable ice across the vast, fractured expanse where the Arctic's dominion crumbles. The polar bear reigns not by inherent might, but by a precarious balance against an unforgiving, melting world. The stark truth is that even the most formidable hunter, a creature of ancient power, often finds its apex status challenged, its very survival a desperate gamble on the whims of dissolving ice. This is the chronicle of their deadliest hunts, not of invincibility, but of the raw, fragile struggle against an environment in revolt. The world was a canvas of fractured white and ethereal blue, a realm where immensity dwarfed individual struggle. Here, on the vast, uncertain plains of the Arctic ice, a predator of formidable reputation surveyed its domain. This was Nanuk, a great bear whose coat, once a pristine testament to his northern birthright, now bore the muted hues of days spent in relentless, often fruitless pursuit. Hunger was a constant, gnawing companion, a cold fire that burned in his belly, driving every calculated step. His eyes, sharp and amber, scanned the seemingly unbroken sheet of ice, seeking the subtle disturbance that would betray a hidden life. His quarry, a ringed seal named Kavik, possessed a different kind of cunning, born not of brute strength, but of acute awareness. Kavik understood the language of the ice, the faint vibrations that signaled danger, the subtle shifts that offered escape. He lay at his breathing hole, a dark aperture in the alabaster expanse, his senses attuned to the faintest tremor. Kavik knew that even the colossal Nanuk was not an unstoppable force. His dominion was a fragile thing, subject to the very ground he tread upon. Nanuk began his stalk, a phantom of white fur moving with deceptive grace. Each padded paw descended with deliberate intent, testing the surface before committing his considerable weight. The ice, however, was a decease, a network of thin membranes and deep, unseen fissures, a testament to a warming planet that had rendered its once solid foundation dangerously ephemeral. He had sensed it, a faint unease that prickled his fur, but hunger had overridden caution. The scent of Kavik, rich and enticing, drew him onward, closer to the dark circle of the breathing hole. The first betrayal was subtle, a faint groan from deep beneath his forepaws. Nanuk paused, his massive head tilting, an instinctual alarm flickering in his intelligent eyes. The ice did not shatter, not yet, but it sagged, a visible depression forming where his weight rested. Kavik, alerted by the amplified groan, exhaled a silent breath of relief. This was the moment he had waited for, the subtle advantage the ice offered. Nanuk pressed forward, driven by the primeval urge to satisfy his hunger. He envisioned the swift, brutal efficiency of the kill, the warmth of Kavik's lifeblood a promise against the biting cold. But as he took another step, the groan intensified, a sickening crack echoing across the frozen silence. A jagged fissure, impossibly wide, tore through the ice directly before him, separating him from his prey by a chasm that yawned into the frigid sea. Kavik did not hesitate. With a powerful thrust of his flippers, he slipped into the dark water, vanishing beneath the surface just as Nanuk's paws plunged into the newly formed abyss. The bear roared, a sound of frustration and primal rage, his forelimbs scrabbling at the collapsing edges of the ice. He lunged, attempting to bridge the gap, but the treacherous surface offered no stable purchase. He was a creature of ice, yet the ice was now his adversary, a treacherous, disintegrating battlefield. He stumbled back, his powerful frame momentarily unsteady. Another section of the ice floe, dislodged by his desperate movements, calved away with a thunderous crack, drifting into the open water. Nanuk found himself on a shrinking island. the vast expanse of his hunting grounds now a perilous maze of moving fragments and open water. The seal was gone, a ghost in the icy depths, and Nanuk, the apex predator, was left stranded, his formidable presence rendered temporarily impotent by the very foundation of his reign. The ice had not yielded to his power. It had actively conspired against him, a stark reminder of his fragile dominance in a world that was rapidly changing beneath his paws. The scent of desperation, thin and reedy, reached the massive nostrils of Kael, a polar bear whose shadow fell long and formidable across the thawing tundra. He was a creature sculpted by harshness, his immense frame a testament to countless successful hunts. Yet today, a subtle unease underscored his predatory focus. The usual stark landscape was a riot of unfamiliar textures. Slushy channels of milky water snaked between hummocks of ice, and precarious bridges, little more than frozen froth, spanned unnerving depths. This was not the predictable, solid domain he commanded, but a realm in flux, a testament to the season's unusual warmth. His target, a nimble Arctic fox named Sela, had been driven from the relative safety of her den by Kael's imposing presence. Sela, a creature of keen intellect and even keener instinct, knew this treacherous terrain intimately. For her, the melting ice was not a barrier, but a complex puzzle, a series of calculated risks and opportunities. Kael, on the other hand, saw only the tantalizing prospect of an easy meal, the swift conclusion to his hunger pangs. He approached with the confidence of a monarch, unaware that his throne was built on shifting sands. Sela darted towards a narrow, treacherous crossing, a bridge of ice that appeared to sag with the slightest disturbance. Kael, anticipating her predictable flight path, surged forward, his heavy paws sinking into the yielding snow near the bank. He expected the fox to flee across, a desperate dash towards open ground. But Sela, with a flick of her tail, veered sharply, not across the obvious bridge, but towards a narrower, less obvious segment that Kael's bulk would surely break. She understood the bear's limitations. His power was immense, but it was also a liability on this fragile, fractured terrain. As Kael's weight descended upon the ice bridge, it groaned, then splintered with a sharp crack. Water surged around his legs, chilling him to the bone and instantly diminishing his predatory momentum. He roared, a sound more of surprise than fury, his powerful hindquarters struggling for purchase as the ice gave way. Sela, meanwhile, had effortlessly navigated a different route, a series of small, stable hummocks that led her further away, towards the edge of the mist that now began to creep in from the sea. The bear found himself in a dilemma. To pursue Sela meant venturing further onto increasingly unstable ground, risking a plunge into the frigid depths that could easily overwhelm even his considerable strength. The fox, agile and lightweight, could dance across these treacherous pathways, each jump a taunt, each successful crossing a subtle victory. Kael's imposing stature, a symbol of his dominance on solid ice, now worked against him, making every step a calculated risk. He watched as Sela, a streak of white against the melting landscape, navigated a particularly perilous expanse, disappearing into the swirling vapor. The bear, mired in the frigid slush and the unnerving instability of the ice, had no choice but to acknowledge the futility of the chase. His pursuit was halted, not by superior strength, but by the clever exploitation of an environment that offered no guarantees of his dominance. The mist swallowed Sela whole, leaving Kael to ponder his own precarious position. A king whose kingdom was slowly, irrevocably, dissolving. The gnawing void in Anya's stomach had become a constant, a dull ache that sharpened her senses to a desperate edge. Days had bled into nights, each dawn revealing only the taunting expanse of sea and ice, devoid of sustenance. Anya, a female of considerable experience, a matriarch of sorts among her kind, was not accustomed to such prolonged deprivation. Her usual hunting grounds, once bountiful, now offered only fleeting glimpses of prey, always out of reach or too elusive. Today, however, a glimmer of hope appeared on the horizon. A solitary walrus, vast and imposing, hauled out on a sizable ice floe. The walrus, a behemoth named Vorlog by the Inuit who respected its formidable presence, was a creature of immense power. Its tusks, like ivory sabers, curved menacingly, and its blubber-lined body was a living fortress against the elements and predators alike. Anya recognized the inherent danger, the sheer effort required to overcome such a quarry. Yet, the prospect of a substantial meal, one that could sustain her for many days, propelled her forward. This was not a calculated stalk of opportunity, but a gamble born of desperation, a final, taxing effort against the encroaching weakness. Anya began her approach, her movements more measured than those of her younger counterparts, each step a deliberate decision on the groaning ice. She noted the subtle tremors that rippled through the floe, the unnerving shift of the vast white platform beneath Vorlog's bulk. The ice, once a reliable stage for her dominance, was now a fickle accomplice, prone to unpredictable disruptions. Vorlog, sensing the bear's approach, shifted its immense weight, its powerful flippers digging into the ice, its beady eyes fixed on the approaching predator. With a guttural growl that echoed the emptiness within her, Anya launched her assault. She gathered her strength, a coiled spring of muscle and bone, and charged. Her aim was to bring her full weight to bear, to overwhelm the walrus and secure a swift victory. But as her paws connected with the ice, a violent shudder coursed through the floe. The ice beneath Vorlog, already strained by the walrus mass, gave way with a deafening crack, splitting apart in a chaotic deluge of water and ice fragments. The sudden submersion transformed the battlefield. Vorlog, far from being incapacitated, found itself in its element. The water provided leverage, allowing it to thrash with astonishing force. Its tusks became deadly weapons, sweeping through the churning water, narrowly missing Anya as she scrambled for footing on the collapsing ice. The bear, caught in the maelstrom, found her powerful limbs struggling against the turbulent currents and the unstable breaking flow. The advantage had shifted, not to the stronger predator, but to the prey that could manipulate the chaos. Anya, battered by the water and the violent thrashing of the walrus, felt a surge of exhaustion eclipse her hunger. The ice continued to fragment, pushing her further from her intended prey and closer to the open sea. Vorlog, sensing the bear's waning strength and the persistent danger of the breaking ice, pressed its attack with renewed vigor, its tusks finding purchase against Anya's thick hide, not to inflict mortal wounds, but to drive her away. The struggle was no longer about claiming dominance, but about survival. Anya, her muscles burning and her spirit weary, made the difficult but necessary decision to retreat. She pulled herself onto a more stable, though still groaning, section of ice, her amber eyes tracking the walrus as it gradually submerged itself, its imposing form disappearing into the dark, unforgiving depths. The ice, a fickle ally, had once again refused to guarantee her victory, leaving her to face the persistent gnaw of hunger, her dominance not vanquished, but profoundly challenged. Across these unforgiving plains, we witnessed the stark reality of survival, where even the most powerful predators found their reign challenged by an ever-changing world. The ice, once their unyielding domain, now whispered tales of fragility, forcing a reckoning with the limits of their strength. It is a profound reminder that true power often lies not in invincibility, but in the persistent, often desperate will to endure against overwhelming odds. We hope you found this journey into the Arctic's delicate balance as compelling as we did here at Content Channel. Reflecting on the bear's struggle, what do you believe is the greater test for these magnificent creatures? The direct confrontation with formidable prey? Or the subtle, relentless erosion of their very habitat? Until our next exploration, may the spirit of resilience guide you. What happens when a predator, weakened by its recent failures, encounters an opportunity it cannot afford to miss, even if it means venturing into the unknown depths?